Yay, yay, yay. We're live and here to talk about lucid dreaming. In case you didn't get the memo, we're talking about lucid dreaming and how we can use that to not only connect to deceased loved ones, but potentially to actually go to the other side, as in step into your soul body. Did you know that you have a soul body? Because you do. Don't just have a physical body, you actually have a soul body. We're going to talk about that more today. And closing out our time together, will guide you as usual in an exercise to hopefully help you begin to find it easier to remember that you're dreaming when you're dreaming, because that's what lucid dreaming is about, is being aware that you're dreaming while you're in the dream. Okay, so what's the big deal about that, right? Like, why should I care if I'm aware that I'm dreaming? Well, you should care a lot because when you're lucid in your dream, you have control over your dream and you can experience many different things. Usually, people, when they're lucid in a dream, they're experiencing their field, right? Their energy field. Or you could also say the astral plane. And they're not necessarily actually going to the afterlife, although loved ones can connect with us on that level. We're going to talk about that too, because there's a lot of, let's just say, controversy out there in this field of lucid dreaming or even out of body experiences. Not so much near death, because people who have near death experiences do report that they encounter loved ones on the other side. They actually are going to the other side. Okay, but we're gonna like explore all that, get to the bottom of all that, if you will. But understanding these different states is critical if you and I want to connect with someone we love on the other side. And indeed, we can do that. Okay. I'm going to start by just sharing my experience, and then we're going to go deeper and explore these subject in greater detail. First of all, I've had a couple, well, three actually, lucid dreams. Now, that said, the ones that I have, well, two of them didn't last very long, and chances are you've had a lucid dream and you may not remember it, or maybe you do remember it as a very vivid dream. That's one of the ways you can tell. The dream is so vivid, so bright, so colorful. You can feel things in a lucid dream. I felt Alan's arms in a lucid dream after he passed. And the memory of that still stays with me. It's like, for some reason, I can really feel how his arms felt just silky. His skin was silky, and his forearms were really strong. And he said he wanted to give me that experience because when he passed, he was suffering from dementia and he'd lost a lot of weight. He was very frail. His skin, for his age, he was 83 when he died. So, his skin, as with most people who are elderly, especially at that age in their 80s, skin was easily, the blood vessels would break. I mean, that doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? There's, you can see under the skin that that the skin is so thin. So he didn't like that, of course. He didn't like that I was remembering, because that was the last memory of him, right? I was remembering helping him bathe, right, shower and all that, and I'd have to lift him or hold him by his forearms. And he wanted to replace that memory with his soul body memory, let's say. Well, give me that memory. And I felt his arms, and they were strong, and the skin was again silky, and I knew that was him, and I literally can still feel that in the palms of my hand. It's very interesting how that is. So that was a lucid dream. It was very brief. And another time, I recall in the dream, and I knew I was dreaming for like a moment. I was in a room and he was there, and I saw him and I said, "I'm dreaming," and then he kind of just faded away a little bit. It was hard. It was like I was trying to hang on to the vision, and I couldn't. It was getting away from me. It was like it just started to fade, and that is also something that can happen. Sorry, I'm muting myself out here because I'm coughing a little bit. So just hang on there for a second. Yeah, so it was so frustrating because I could feel him, saw him. He was trying to kiss me, and it was like he's just started to I want to almost say like the scene kind of melted away, and I knew I was losing it. So this is what can happen in a lucid dream, even in out of body. But in a lucid dream for sure, you can experiencing them like it's real and feel them, see them, be able to talk to them, but you might not be able to hold it. And there's ways to deepen the connection and therefore to have it last longer, but this is really common when you're just beginning to have a lucid dream. Now, the other time that I had a lucid dream was very vivid. Well, there were two more times. Another time was he came out of a room and I looked at him and then also looked around the rest of the room that I was in. And it was the floor to ceiling windows that looked out on what looked like these, I guess I would say atolls or island. Not really, it was very strange, like islands that were vivid, like emerald green and lush, and then there was the turquoise ocean, and I could see all of this. It was so breathtaking. And I saw Alan and I said, "Oh my God, I'm dreaming like this you're here and this is a dream." I knew I was dreaming. And I could feel him and I could see all this. It was just spectacular. And I knew it was a dream. And that too didn't last that long, but while it did, it was quite incredible. Now, the other time that I dreamed, and this is when he proved to me that he was really with me and what can happen in a lucid dream, and certainly in an out of body experience, is that you can get evidence that they're actually there with you because they can tell you something that is happening in the now, in that moment. So in my case, I was again dreaming and I opened another door. I don't know what it is with me and doors, but my dream, but there was another door. I opened this door and inside I could see from floor to ceiling was stacked all this random pieces of furniture. There were desks, office chairs, computers, typewriters, bookcases, you name it. It was all office things. I remember that really clearly. It was packed from, again, from floor up to the ceiling. Okay, just jammed like all this in this room. And I guess because it was so crazy, I looked at it and I was in that week. This was the seventh day that I was practicing remembering my dreams, which is important for lucid dreaming. You need to be able to recall your dreams. And I never been able to do that. Well, this was the seventh day that had 7 days in a row that I had remembered my dreams. And in this one, I was paying attention, obviously, because of my intention. So I saw this scene and I said, "Oh my God, this must be a dream." And as soon as I said that to myself, it was as if somebody turned on the light and everything in that room just like lit up. It was became brighter and the colors were more vivid. And I knew this was I was lucid. And I heard Alan saying to me, "Pam, you did it. You're lucid in your dream. But babe, you have to wake up now." And I said, "Why?" like, why do I have to wake up? I just got lucid. He said, "Because you're going to be late for your appointment." So I had an appointment to take the car in for some work to be done on it. And sure enough, when I woke up, I realized if I had slept just even a little bit longer, I was already going to be late as it was, and I would have missed it completely. So he knew that I was going to be late, and he was letting me know, you got to get up. So I woke up, and I knew that he had been there, and he confirmed that for me. Okay. Now, you might wonder, okay, well, did I take that further? But no, I didn't. Well, actually, I did. I took a course on lucid dreaming taught by two men that they also teach at the Monroe Institute. Dale and I had been to the Monroe Institute in Virginia. We'd been there and took two of their workshops back to back. We did their residential program. So I knew that they're an amazing they have amazing programs, and we enjoyed our time there. So I took this one that was online, and it was very thorough, but it was very, I want to say, it wasn't user friendly because it was all delivered online. You would go and read the material and practice on your own. And there wasn't any, let's say, Facebook group where you could interact with your fellow students or with the instructors. There was no real direct contact with your instructors. It was all through sending in, I believe it was like a kind of a message board. If you remember that back in the day before Facebook, there were things like message boards. But you sent in your question and they would answer it and send it out to everybody. So it wasn't really engaging, and it would take you time to get even an answer, and you couldn't even get back to them with another question about that answer they gave you. So it was very difficult to absorb that because of the way it was presented. But they did give us all the different ways that a person can go lucid. Now, here's the interesting part for you and I who are interested in communicating across the veil, right? People did ask, so when you have a lucid dream, can you meet your deceased loved ones? And indeed, one of the teachers did say that I believe he met one of his relatives. I don't remember who it was. And he felt it was real, but they were not going to go on record as saying that this was actually real, that you could actually do that in a lucid dream. And if you really go out there and you research this, or you go look at other people who are teaching, I mean, some of them I'm sure are saying that you can connect with the afterlife, but there are some who are quite experienced at teaching out of body and lucid dreaming, who will tell you that it's a simulation. And there's one teacher who's quite well known who even says that even near-death experiences are simulations. Okay, because this case and this particular teacher, I won't say who that they are, but this particular teacher, you can tell by his teachings that he doesn't believe in a God or a soul. So why would he believe in the afterlife, right? But he does say, yes, you can connect with deceased loved ones in a lucid dream or even out of body. But in his case, he's not believing, and therefore he's not open to experiencing the idea that you can go not only connect with a deceased loved one, but you can go beyond the astral or the earth realm to the heavenly realms and beyond. Okay, you can literally go to the afterlife. Now, you can't stay there. You're going to come back because you're not technically dead, like physically. But as we know with people who've had near-death experiences, you can go to the other side, have an experience, see loved ones, see guides, see the other side, right? See ascended beings, see angels, you name it, see the other side and come back. Okay. Some of them obviously don't come back. In those cases, they didn't have a near-death experience. They actually died and stayed there. Okay. So what's going on here, and what are we to make of it? Like, what do we make of it? And it really comes down to the belief of the people who are exploring this, teaching this, obviously, because there's no general consensus. And, if you're trying to find scientific empirical evidence of the afterlife, you won't really find it. You can't find it. And we need to understand that science is not truly objective. Now, why do I say that? Because to be objective means you truly, truly have to have no opinion. You have to be neutral in your belief and assumptions about the afterlife, about existence. Because what you believe is what you're going to create, including what evidence you bring forth. Because your reality is responding to your beliefs. You can't separate your experiences from your beliefs. So, how can scientific evidence really be completely neutral? It can't be. And for most scientists, they do have a belief, a theory, right, that they're trying to prove most times. They have a theory. Well, that's a belief. So, if you have this theory that you think you are conducting experiments that are going to neutrally give you evidence, you're wrong because that's not how reality works. Quantum physicists are kind of proving that your thoughts, your belief collapses the field, the wave, or the line. Right? It creates what you believe. So you can't extricate yourself from that experiment. So what I propose to you, to everyone, is get your own evidence. Who cares what science tells you? This is your existence, your reality, your life. You're already creating it. You just don't realize that you're creating it from your beliefs, your predominant beliefs. Okay, not every single belief. The predominant pattern of your beliefs, your predominant belief system about the afterlife is going to either open the door to the other side or keep it closed. That's it. So everybody is going to have their own experience of what the other side is or isn't. Does that make sense? I mean, I hope so, because that's how existence is designed to reflect what we believe in here. Our inner reality is our outer reality. Our inner belief is our outer belief. So you can't get away from that. There's no way to do that. So if you want to connect with someone across the veil, yes, you can do that in a lucid dream. You probably have already had them. There are people who have visitation dreams that are actually lucid dreams where they felt their loved one there. They, saw them, talked to them, hug them, etc. You name it. That can be a lucid dream. Usually that's again in this field, the astral. Nothing wrong with that. The other side, this is the thing that scientists don't understand. Because if they don't believe in the soul, then you're not going to be open to the idea that a soul is limitless and that soul has access to all the realms, including the earth realm. They just don't have a body to bring here. They can't, but they're a consciousness. So as a consciousness, they can enter our dreams. Okay, they can be there. They can engage with us. And many of you have had those experiences. I'm sure some of you want more of those experiences, like some of you want them every night. And I'm not saying that's not possible, but it's not likely, at least right now. I mean, for most people, it's not likely you're going to have a lucid dream every night. And I discourage people, since I teach people how to connect to loved ones on the other side, I discourage them from focusing solely on lucid dreaming. Okay, I mean, focus on it, yes, and we're gonna begin to teach how to connect to our loved ones through out of body and lucid dreaming in our academy. We're gonna be holding the space for that and exploring that. It's really is important and helpful if you learn this with a group. The group energy is powerful. It helps people go further than they can when they're on their own. I experienced that in that class because we weren't really cohesive as a group, and those teachers were not holding the space for the group. So it really, like, people were not having success, and Spirit told me it's because of that, because we didn't get to know each other. The teachers were not really engaging with us directly, and they said to me, if you're going to teach this, it has to be group centered, group focused, because that's the only way this is really going to work for the majority of people. Okay, other people might be able to take it and run with it and fine, but they're probably going to be in the minority. So when you understand that, okay, they can come into my dream, but I'm sorry, they're not going to necessarily be there all the time. Now you might say, well, why not? Why can't they be there all the time? If they love me and they know I want to be with them. The answer to that is a bit complicated, because in part, it's also because your spirit, your soul, your spirit is not your soul. Your spirit's part of your soul. Your soul is a greater part of you. Spirit is part of you that's in this life. Your spirit has a plan. Your higher self knows what that plan is, right? So whatever's happening to you is according to your plan. It's not just about, I want to be with my loved one 24/7, unless that was your soul's plan, which is, spirits told me, is rarely the case, because if that was the case, you would just stay on the other side. So you're here to have an experience in the earth realm, clearly, because you're here in this realm, aren't you? So you're here for a reason. What your reason is, I don't know. You'd have to, find that out for yourself. But if you're still here, that means you're not done, and there's a reason you're still here. So your higher self is not usually, like 99% of the time, isn't going to go in for you having constant 24/7 connection with someone on the other side, because you would be more on the other side than you would be here. It would defeat the whole purpose of you still being here in a body. Now, I understand if you're grieving, it's like, but I want that, I need that, I get it, but that is not going to serve you for your soul's purpose of being in a body. And that's the ultimate determining force or factor, is, what did your soul plan? Because everything that's happening to you, everything, even what you don't prefer, what you're not happy about, is happening with a bigger purpose in mind. It's happening for your growth. Okay, and I know that can be hard for people to swallow, especially if they're just beginning to explore the afterlife and they don't even believe completely that there is one. I get it. And that's where beliefs matter, right? So if you do not believe in an afterlife, you need to address that first. If you hope to have contact, your loved one may be strong enough on the other side to give you that contact in spite of your disbelief. Most of them won't be able to. Some can override that. But in time, as they more fully transition, their ability to override your limiting beliefs really weakens or disappears completely, because they lose their, what I call, earth energy, their residual earth energy, which helps them to manifest things and influence reality here. Okay. Now they need you to develop yourself spiritually to meet them, let's say, kind of halfway. And then through you, yeah, they can do all kinds of things, because you're more awakened and you're grounded in your body. But remember, you got to be in your body. Okay. Please don't get just lost in or obsessive about being in the dream state or even meditative state to be with your loved one, because again, you're missing the point of being here in a body. Yes, you can connect. Yes, you can have, communication. You can feel them, you can hear them, you can, even if you're a partner, physically connect in even intimate ways, absolutely. But you're still here to have a 3D experience. So there will be, in most more than likely, some limit because of that. This, I hope you understand that. It's not like they don't want to give that to you, like 24/7. Your higher self is calling the shots, not them. You, you, you have the power. You're the one in control. Okay, you are. If you were going to be with them 24/7, you would just be in the spirit world already, right? Because that's where it would happen. But what you can do is you can go visit. Go visit with your consciousness in the lucid dream state and the out of body state. Near death state, obviously they're doing that, right? But you have to focus on what you're here for. What spirit's now telling me is if you're not doing that, that connection could indeed be a little more pinched off by your higher self, not them. So never blame your loved ones or your guides or your angels and say, why aren't you doing this for me? Why aren't you coming through for me? Look at you. You're creating your existence. And I'm not saying to blame you either. I'm just saying the responsibility lies with you, not them. Yes, they are learning how to project. Yes, they can do all kinds of things and want to and will. Okay. But you are the one driving the bus that is your existence in a physical body, not them. And our loved ones are not going to interfere with this. Well, Alan's now telling me, well, some of them might because they're still kind of more identified with their physical ego, right? Some are. That's just how it is. Alan isn't. He just dropped that and he completely stepped into being his higher self and his angelic self, actually. So, and some of your loved ones are angels too, by the way. That's a whole other subject. However, you're here for a reason. And if you don't focus on that reason, I promise you, when you cross over, you're going to kick yourself. You are. People do. People do when they cross over, leave the body and go, oh my God, I blew it. I blew it. I promised myself I was going to do it this time. I was going to learn what I need to learn this time, and I didn't. Okay. So meditate and take stock of that. And Spirit saying to me, if you do that, if you work on your own growth, your relationship with your loved one on the other side will develop just naturally. It'll unfold more in perfect timing if you see it all as perfectly orchestrated, which it is. Okay. Now, what is the evidence that these states, lucid dreaming, out of body, near death, really help us access the spirit world? Like I said, we can't give you empirical evidence, but more recently, there are out-of-body teachers, like someone I'm studying with right now that I've spoken about, that in time I think everyone will know, Darius J. Wright. You can find him on the internet. You can find him on YouTube. And I'm studying with him. I'm in his program. So he's proving through his journeying to the other side, beyond the earth realm, beyond the earth construct, that there are many, many, many worlds. Okay. And that you can visit them while you're still incarnated. You have to drop your body, you have to go through, in most cases, sleep paralysis, which feels as if your body is dying, like your body's shutting down. You go into paralysis and you can exit the body. He teaches how to do that. The challenge those of us who are grieving face is that it's usually, for most of us, going to be difficult because of the depth of grief. Because when you go out of body the way that he teaches you, you have to kind of have no emotion, in a sense. You almost have to be a little bit stoic, have no fear at all, no fear, because whatever you fear manifests there. So if you're dealing with a lot of emotion and you have a lot of fear about the afterlife, about the paranormal, because when you come out of body, you might see, in fact, beings in your space because they are there. There are beings in your space. And as he explains, and I've heard other teachers say, they don't all look like fluffy angels, in a cloud. If you saw some of them, you might even be startled or a little afraid. Not that they're scary, but they look very serious. Okay, so you need to deal with any fear you have about what you might encounter. And some people need to work on that seriously in order to exit using his method. The ADA method stands for Awaken Your Dormant Abilities method, which is a form of direct uh, out of body experience. Direct meaning that you have to deliberately, like kind of forcibly, like leave through relaxing your body goes to sleep, and your mind is awake, and you exit in the way that he teaches, which I'm not teaching, by the way. I've realized after studying with him that entering a lucid dream state can be the next best way to leave completely the astral and go to the other side. Okay, and he even suggests to some of his students that that might be easier for them. So some of them are doing that. They're more focusing on really refining their lucid body. Their lucid dreaming state and going into their soul body that way, because you can exit. It's a different way. I don't believe that anybody teaching lucid dreaming fully understands, or certainly is not teaching his method of using the lucid dream state to go beyond the astral to the actual afterlife. But that is what people are doing, and they're getting their own evidence. They're seeing the realms there. They are visiting heaven. He says, he will tell you that, in his opinion, the way to connect with our loved ones on the other side is to go out of body, because he knows that we can be with them physically, that being with them there on the other side, and I mean not just lucid, although that can be the stepping stone, that can be very comforting and give you confirmation that they're with you, right? And if that's enough for you, great, because for some people that's enough. But you could go beyond that. And if you go beyond that and step into your soul body, as he describes it, you actually become more physical than you are now in this realm. And the reason you're more physical on the other side is for a very simple reason. Because once you drop your body, and you can drop your body, and like near death experiencers have done, right? Drop their body, they go the other side, and they have this transcendent experience, because they basically drop their negative ego temporarily in the case of a near death experiencer, but they still drop the negative ego. So because you do that, because you drop that negative ego, you have all of your energy accessible to you. You step into all that you are. 90%, maybe more people walking around are not accessing all of who they are. They're walking around with limiting beliefs and assumptions and definitions about life, about themselves. They're judging other people. They don't know what unconditional love is. We'll talk about that in a minute, because I just heard Spirit say this is real important. I talk about that with you, what love really is. But they don't know what that is. But when you cross over, you do. You instantly know what love really is. You become who you truly are, at least for that time there. So you have all of your energy, and therefore you're more physical. Now, some people, while they're still here in a body, can spiritually evolve to the point where they're more alive. They're more alive. They look younger. They feel healthier, because they have more access to all of who they are, because those people have managed, while still in a body, to drop most, or maybe all, of their negative ego. But you still have to have an ego while you're here, right? So, and when you cross over, from what I understand, you still do have an ego, but it's not a negative ego. It's just your identity. Okay, so you can have that experience when you go further beyond the astral. On the astral is like this realm, the earth realm, and all the people here. And when you're in that lucid state or out of body, A lot of people, when they're out of body or astral projecting, they're actually just in the earth realm. So that's why they can go visit their friends. They can say, "Oh, I saw you. You bought a new bicycle. It's green," or whatever. Yeah, they actually went and saw it. That's what you can do when you're out of body. That's not hard. That's been proven. So, but that's that level. And what we want, well, what some of us want anyway, is to go beyond that, because I don't want to put any limits if I don't have to. Do you? So I want to see it all, and that's what I'm working towards. So beyond lucid dreaming, I want to go to the other side and see all the realms and be more physical than I'm here. But in the interim, I'm fine to get more proficient, more, refined with my lucid dreaming experiences with Alan. So I'm looking forward to that. But and you can too. You can practice that, and you can even experience other worlds and lucid dreaming, all of that. But again, that's in your field, because remember, create. So all of your thoughts have been, for everybody's, they're saying, spirit saying, has created little dimensional worlds in your field that are from you, from your thoughts. They're real places, so you can go visit it. This is not imaginary, meaning not real. It is real. This world we're in, folks, this is the imaginary world that is a projection of consciousness. The physical world is created from the spirit world by consensus, right? The collective consciousness, let's say, of humanity, the collective consciousness that we are all part of, has created the earth realm. And so we're living here, but it's a projection, it's an illusion. Nothing here is stable or real. It can change, and it doesn't continue. It will all at some point cease to exist and just become energy particles. The other side is the only thing that is stable, that never changes really. It does change, but it's eternal. It's eternal. So you have a soul body on the other side, and it looks, from what I understand through my studies, it looks pretty much like your body now, except let's say a 2.0 or even 3.0 version, right? Like a more higher version of you, but you're there. And so we can't give you, again, empirical evidence, but we say, go and get your own evidence, go and get your own experience. Don't listen to people that tell you it's not true. What do you care what they think? You're here to have your own experience, your own reality. Nobody's going to come and lock you up. That was in another parallel reality, another lifetime that you lived. You're not there now. Okay? Focus on what you want to create, and especially focus on, what are you here for? The number one purpose that all souls share as their purpose, okay? And they have other purposes too. Like, so do I have another mission, the one I'm in with Alan, teaching about continuing relationships after death. But my first purpose has always been to become truly who I am, all that I am, to let go of any limiting beliefs that I took on from other people, including my parents or my friends or my society or my teachers, and to be authentically me. So here's where Spirit wants me to talk to you about what love is, and which is backed up by my other teachers. Okay? Love isn't just about being sweet or kind or tender. I'm not saying that is not love, because that is part of what love is, right? But it is so much more than that. Okay. Love, okay, that we're here to experience in this world, is about us being love, being the expression of love. And what that really comes down to is being genuine, being true to you. So when you say yes to something, you really mean it with all your being. You know that saying yes to whatever you were asked is what your soul really wants. You know, you're not doing it just to make people happy. You're not doing it because you feel guilty, because all that, that's not love. And that's why somebody can take action that looks on the surface to be positive and loving, like going along and saying yes, and they're actually not being loving at all to themselves, the other person, because you're not being authentic. You're acting by default. Most people do. They just automatically say yes, or maybe in some cases automatically say no. Both responses are not what love is, right? Love is going to take action from this place of authenticity, of being genuine, of being true to who you know yourself to be. And when you say yes, you feel the resonance of that, and you know that this is right for you, and you know, therefore, it's right for the person that you just said yes to. Okay. Or on the other hand, you say no because you know this is the right response. You can feel it to the core of you. You go, I have need to say no, even if that person doesn't like it. Especially, you know, even yeah, if they don't like it and get mad at you, you know that this is the appropriate response to be true to you, and you know that that is all that matters. That you are being true to you. Therefore, whatever you're doing in the world, when you're taking action from that place, is in alignment and is for the highest good for the other person, even if they reject that idea. Because all that matters is that you know that this is what is the truly appropriate thing to do. And I'm here to be true to me. And by me being my authentic true self, I support other people to do the same because I'm holding that state. I am being love in action. Love in action will sometimes take a stand. It might fight back. It might curse somebody. Anger by itself isn't negative. Anger can simply be like a statement of no, like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. It's only negative if you start following it up with criticism and judgment, condemnation, then yes, you've gone negative. But anger by itself, no, anger is standing your ground, saying, that's not right what you just did. This is not okay with me. And then, but you're not going into judgment. You're not condemning that person. You're just saying, I'm not going to tolerate that. You know, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out, I'm gone. This is not going to happen. Okay. You need to understand, therefore, what love really is. And connecting through the veil is going to challenge you on that because they know what love really is, or at least they're learning. We can visit anywhere really. I mean, you can go to visit your friend on the other side of the country, other side of the world. You can go visit celebrities. Go travel around the world. Anywhere you want to go, you can do that. You can do that. So you just need to know the difference that you can go higher than just this realm. And we're not saying that you need to. I just want you to know that that's the option, and that in order to go higher and have the full experience, meaning like be in your soul body and feel more physical than you are here physically, and therefore experience your loved one fully physically, then you got to go beyond the astral. Okay, not just the earth realm. You have to go beyond. You can explore the heavens, heavenly realm. There are realms beyond that, and I won't go into that, but you can do that. And I believe in time, maybe in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, certainly 5 years, I think there's going to be more widespread acceptance of this truth that you can, while you're still in a body, visit the afterlife, see your loved ones, connect with them. Spirit already told me that sooner than any of us may imagine, people won't really need to go to mediums. They won't, because this other side is getting stronger and the veil is practically gone for many people. And I'm getting within maybe a year and a half that not everybody's going to be at this state, okay, but more and more people will say, "Oh, I have direct contact, like I don't need to see a medium," and that'll spark other people to go, "Oh, wow, I want that. Well, how do you do that?" so, I mean, I love my medium friends, but trust me, if I were you, I would kind of try to find like, what else am I going to do, because everyone who is a soul, and we're all souls, is a medium. Okay, to be human is to be a medium, is to be psychic. So it's just a matter of time. And you can connect with them through lucid dreams. So wouldn't our time be better spent developing our ability to travel to them, to raise our vibration, to work through our fears and our limiting beliefs so that we can make contact? That's going to be more rewarding than going to somebody who's just going to give you messages that may sound good and may be soothing, but it doesn't do anything to build your connection. If anything, for some people, it'll actually cripple them, because by you paying somebody to connect, you're basically stating by your action that you believe in them more than yourself, or why would you do that? Okay, why would you do that? That is kind of how it is. I mean, there's no way around it, because your actions are a statement to the universe. It is going to manifest. So if you want to keep getting more mediumship readings, then go get them, because when you do something, you're basically saying, I want this and I want more of it. When you say, I'm working on my connection, then you're going to get more connection, because that's what you're putting your energy. Doesn't that make sense? I'm not saying we won't ever need mediums, because clearly we will, but I'm just saying that there's going to be more acceptance of the truth that it's not that difficult to connect directly to anyone in spirit, but you got to look at your beliefs. Okay, your beliefs are going to either help or hinder you. That's just no way around it. So I want to lead you into an exercise, right? And give you some tips about connecting. There's a lot of books on lucid dreaming. There's one we recommend to our students. And there's other methods of actually going out of body that we're going to explore only with my students, that I've been looking into. And these are more indirect methods, don't require you to like go into sleep paralysis, but do require you to use the dream state in a certain way. Sometimes lucid, not necessarily lucid. So I'm kind of researching all of this, because I want to bring everything that I know to my students, because some people will do better with one method than another one, right? So it's like, there's just not one way. Everybody's different. And there's the way that works for you. And so I just want to bring everything I know to the table, but I only do that in our academy. And we are going to study more lucid dreaming. I wouldn't even say study. I mean practice. You got to practice on your own. That's what I learned from this class. You don't learn it by taking a class. You learn it by practice on a regular basis, and then getting support again, but hopefully by teacher, by group that's holding the space. I understand that more than ever right now, that it's the group energy that helps us manifest things. Like there are people here watching me live who are in our academy, and they know what I'm talking about, that they're having phenomenon happening, right? Like they're sparking each other to having connections with their loved ones spontaneously, because one person experiences something, they talk about it, it sparks somebody else to have this similar experience of seeing their loved one, of feeling them physically, all of that. We're only getting started with this, folks. So it's about the group energy. That is what the ascension is about. And this is what moving to fourth density is about. It's all about group. Very, very few people are going to be able to achieve things on their own as we go into fourth density, because we are meant to be with people of like mind and come together and support each other, and we can go farther together than we could ever do on our own. So if you don't join our program, find somebody's program, get with some group or community. I mean, personally, of course, I happen to think ours is the best, but I'm just a little biased. But then I'm seeing evidence of it, and I have people in our academy who will testify to that. So I'm not just making it up. But for now, I just want you to know tonight when you go to sleep, if you want to connect, set the intention. Intention is the first thing. Set your intention that you're going to wake up in your dream. You're going to be aware in your dream. And you might want to affirm that for a while before you go to sleep, or even imagine yourself before you go to sleep in a dream, and imagine yourself waking up in the dream and saying, oh my God, I'm dreaming. And I see it's a dream. This is great, right? Whatever, get yourself into that state. You may or may not be able to wake up in your dream that night, but the more you study lucid dreaming, the more you talk about lucid dreaming, the more you remember your dreams and write them down every morning, as best you can when you wake up, you will have a lucid dream. I did in 7 days. You can have it in less. It isn't really that hard. I promise you. It's not about being psychic. I did this, and I struggled for my whole life to remember my dreams. If I can do it, you can do it. And this is why Alan said, this is why I did struggle all these years. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. You have to set your mind to it. You have to be obsessive thinking about it, right? Affirm it, intend it. You can do it. And most importantly, you have to not quit. I know that sounds obvious, but the only way you fail at any of this is if you quit. That's it. And it breaks my heart because I see people walking away from trying to connect just when I see energetically that they're on the brink, and then they quit. Don't let that be you, because you'll cross over the other side, and again, you're going to kick yourself and go, why did I give up? You don't know when your breakthrough is coming. Just do your best, be patient, embrace your life. Okay, so get relaxed. We're going to lead you. I don't think I'm muted anymore. I know I was muted a little bit before, but okay, close your eyes and get relaxed. And I want you to, this is what Spirit's saying to me. We want you to imagine yourself in your bed dreaming. We're going to hold this state for you of what it feels like to be dreaming a dream and suddenly realize that you're awake in your dream. We're just holding the space for that. Now, one way to do this is to evaluate your dreams, and you might realize there's a theme in your dreams. In my case, I often, well, this hasn't happened recently, but for a while I was always dreaming of the ocean. So if there's a theme, like you always dream of birds or the ocean or the mountains, you can start to remind yourself, when I see the ocean, I'm dreaming. And you can program yourself. So when you're in the dream state and that happens, you might ask yourself, is this a dream? As soon as you say, is this a dream, you can go out of body, you go lucid, and maybe even out of body, but you can go lucid. So, all right, still close your eyes. I want you to imagine yourself waking up in your dream and being aware and saying to yourself, this must be a dream. And see, imagine or feel what it will be like, not if, what it will be like when you go lucid and realize it's a dream. What happens next? Does everything get brighter, bigger, louder? What happens? Can you feel yourself in a new way? Okay. So, if you're open to it, we'd like to download into your consciousness the following belief or program, you might call it. Okay. I know what it feels like to be fully aware in my dream. I want you to imagine, see, or feel this download, this energy going into the top of your head, activating and going through your body and through your whole energy field. I see it just working its way through all of you, from your head down to your toes. I know what it feels like to be fully aware of my dreams. I know what it feels like to be fully aware in my dreams. And you have to know what it feels like, because in the dream state, the dream is such that it's convincing you that that's real. That's how it works. Okay, I still see that this energy download going into you. So right now, still with that intention in mind, focus on the center of your head, your pineal gland, and we're going to download you with, if you're in agreement, I know when I'm dreaming that I'm dreaming. I know when I'm dreaming that I'm dreaming. I know when I'm dreaming that I'm dreaming. I just let that go into your pineal gland, to your psychic awareness. And so, our final message to you about this is tonight when you fall asleep, you could drift off affirming what you want to experience, such as, and I would affirm you going lucid. I wouldn't necessarily, well, you can do what you want, obviously, but I wouldn't necessarily affirm that you're going to see your loved one. Okay, because first you want to be able to wake up in your dream first. The other things will come automatically. If you can wake up in your dream on a consistent basis, then you're off and running, right? You got it. So you might affirm, tonight I will know when I'm dreaming, or tonight I'll wake up my dream. You need to find the language, the words that mean something to you, not just use what I'm saying. So just think about what you're wanting to experience, and play around with the phrase. It has to resonate with you. That's one thing I've learned. It's just better that way, because then it speaks to you on a deeper level. Because what I might say would resonate with me, more fully, and it might not for you. There might be something better for you. So trust that your intuition will let you know what that is. Okay. You got that? I think you can do it. I know you can do it. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, like, and share. And let us know how you do with this. Let us know if you do go out of body or you have a lucid dream. The out of body experience is similar to near death, or can be, let's just say. It depends. It's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell. But let's just say that most people are, again, accessing the earth realm or the astral, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're actually going to the afterlife, from what I've been told by my teachers, it's a whole other experience, and you kind of know that you're not on the astral. I've been to the astral, I've had an out of body, haven't gone beyond the astral, but I think I would probably know the difference. At least I hope I will know the difference. I will let you know, right? And you let me know too. So thanks for watching. And again, subscribe, like, and share if you haven't done so already, and comment below. Let us know how you're doing with your lucid dreaming and out of body experience, right? Take care till next time. Bye bye.